2, 1. Okay, everybody, we are now live this morning with Coffee and Conversation. We have an exciting panel today. Um, these are familiar faces, but the content is not familiar, so don't get familiar with them. They always bring the juice, and I'm so excited to have them today on the panel. And we're going to talk about our topic today is there is life after, and you put in what is your thing that's keeping you stagnant. What is that area? Is it is it divorce? Is it being an empty nester? Is it life interruption or career change? Well, we come to let you know today that there is life after this. Whatever your this is, insert your this because there is life after that. There is life when you feel like, man, I am stuck in this rut. I am stuck because I thought I was going to be in this career for the rest of my life. And now all of a sudden, they are now downsizing and moving, and companies are moving, and careers are changing. AI got everybody in an uproar. And so, what am I supposed to do when all I know is to do this? And now they're saying, okay, we need to learn this. And I'm in what, my 50? I'm 55. I don't want to learn AI. I don't want to learn all this stuff. But guess what? There is life after this. I don't know if you are an empty nester and you were like, all I ever did was center my life around my children. And now that there's no more soccer practice, there's no more baseball games, there's no more. So what is life after this? I come to tell you, there is life after this. I don't know what your this is, but we're coming today to speak life into that situation and let you know there is life. Amen. And so, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go to church. This is Coffee and Conversation. My bad.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Church, but before we get started, I just want to let you know what the topic is. So when you come into the chat, come in with, we're going to just set a little housekeeping rules here. First, let me stop a moment and breathe and allow Angela Hendricks to take a moment to introduce herself because you are on the Coffee and Conversation page. Because once we introduce our guest speaker, Sonjanita Jordan for today, I'm going to allow her to come on later and introduce herself. And I'm just going to surrender the floor to her as we talk about life after this. And that is whatever your this is, there is life. All right. Angela, the floor is yours. Introduce yourself and let them know what they done just walked into today.
All right. All right. Good morning, and good morning. I am Angela Hendricks. I am a licensed professional counselor. I am an addictions specialist. But I come alongside of Angela Wheatley, who is the visionary of Coffee and Conversation. I come alongside her to hold her up, to hold her arms up, and to just be there with her and along this journey of Coffee and Conversations. We are here to, as she said, to just kind of motivate you and let you know what we sometimes we tackle those hard conversations, some of those things that people are thinking, but they don't want to talk about, but we're going to talk about it. Some of so if you have a question, you hear something that piques your interest, put it in the comments, put those questions in the comments, because we're not afraid to tackle those questions. And if we don't have the answers for you, we'll get those answers. And if we as best we can. And so that's what we're here for. We've been doing this for a while. We're celebrating our, I think our 7th year doing this. Mm-hmm. And so we just give all glory to God, for being with us and allowing us to, trusting us to be that voice in this season. So yeah, I'm Angela Hendricks, and I'm just motivated and excited about, talking about this topic today. I was a divorcee at one time. I am an empty nester, and so yeah, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Yes.
Awesome. And I gave somewhat of an intro for myself, but I just want to let you know again what the page is all about. One, we are here to help. Our target audience is teen and young adults, but we don't turn anyone away because the word is for everybody.
Yes.
But we target teens and young adults for who are feeling who are dealing with feeling stuck in their lives, who are dealing with bullying. You feel rejected. You have feelings of rejection. Seems like you're the black sheep of the family. Like you feel like, man, I don't fit in. I'm invisible. And we tackle those assignments. We tackle those areas when you are feeling like you're rejected. You're feeling bullied. And I don't know about you, but now you think when you get out of high school that you're no longer feeling bullied. But guess what? There's a workplace bully as well. So we deal with those aspects of the bully so that you're no longer the victim. And so that is what we tackle. We tackle a lot of different subjects around women with children. And so we deal with that. And we do some one-on-ones. But when we come here on Coffee and Conversation, we just make the topic open and broad so you can jump in. So get in the chats. If the speaker, if we say something that just, you know what, you say, this ministering to me, this is touching right here. We want you to put your coffee emojis. Put those coffee emojis in the chat. Let us know we talking good. Let us know we on point. Let us know that you are being ministered to. And then when we start drinking in the chat, when you see us lift up our mugs, then somebody will say something that's good. Come on now. Good. So we just want you to join in with us, and that's just a fun way for you to join in with us and let us know that we are on topic, that we are completing the assignment that was placed in our hands. Amen. So that's what we are here for. The other thing is rule engagement. Just be nice to everybody in the chat. You see people say something in the chat. Just be nice to everyone, because we are not here to make anyone think like we think. And put in those coffee emojis. Let us know where you are watching us from. Put in where you're watching us from, because we are excited to get started today. Again, I just want to let you know, today we are talking with Sonjanita Jordan. She is the founder and CEO and founder of Dual Support, and she's going to tell you more about that. She's also an adjunct professor. Excited about that opportunity for her, because she is a paralegal, and I don't know about you, but that right there is hard. That's a lot. I love reading, but that's a lot of reading. That's a lot of information to retain, but she helps people in her vocation and in her profession. How awesome is that? So I want to bring on, as soon as we play this quick intro video about, I'll play a quick intro video, and then after that, I will open the floor to Sonjanita Jordan so that she can tell us a little bit more about herself, as well as what we're going to talk about today. We're going to dive right on into that subject, all right? So let me just play. Let me make sure I'm on the right one. But there we go. Give me just a moment. There we go.
Introducing Coffee and Conversation, Christian counseling and coaching, in-person and virtual meetup, where we come together and talk about it. Every first Saturday at 11 a.m. on Facebook and YouTube. Become a volunteer and join? Shop at Shop Merch Store. You can get t-shirts, books, coming soon special coffee blends, and more. Donate at...
Give me just a moment, guys. I'm going to put it back up there, because the screen was telling me to tap, but I didn't know my tablet was a tap screen. My bad. Everybody don't need technology in their hands sometimes, ladies.
Introducing Coffee and Conversation, Christian counseling and coaching, in-person and virtual meetup, where we come together and talk about it. Every first Saturday at 11 a.m. on Facebook and YouTube. Become a volunteer and join? Shop at Shop Merch Store. You can get t-shirts, books, coming soon special coffee blends, and more. Donate at Living My Purpose. Available services: individual sessions, group session, 4 people, licensed and nationally certified counselors, area of specialty, wounds of rejection, low self-esteem and identity issues, family dynamics, relationship coaching. Meet Team Remnant, Angela Hendricks, Ministry assistant and licensed counselor, Stephanie Stokes, elder or teacher. Giovanni Wheatley, media director. Takora Wheatley, director of hospitality. For booking engagements, visit website or email us at livingmypurpose@gmail.com. Visit our website, livingmypurpose.com. Instagram, Living My Purpose. Facebook and YouTube, Living My Purpose.
All right. That there is our just letting you know a little bit about ourselves, about what we do. Again, once you're in the chat, if you are watching us, please add your comments because that's the only way we are streaming from YouTube. Not YouTube, I'm sorry. We're streaming from StreamYard. And so in order for us to know that you are here, we will need you to write in the comments. And once we see your comments, we can then say hello to you and let us know where you're watching us from. So welcome. All right, everybody, let me see here. I need to remove something off the screen. Okay, got it. All right, let's get started. Well, again, we have Sonjanita Jordan here with us, and we are talking about life after this. Sonjanita, if you can, tell us a little bit about yourself before we get started, as well as we flow into the topic. What got you into how did you have to discover? Let's say it like that. How did you discover life after this?
First, I want to say thank you, Angela, for inviting me to be a speaker on Coffee and Conversation. It's always a pleasure to come on and share with the ladies and just for us to share behind the scenes. So I want to say thank you. What got me here? I went through a divorce in 2007. I've been divorced about 8 years now. So when you approached me and we talked about this topic where it says life after divorce, empty nester, life interruption, career changes, well, I was like, well, shoot, I ain't had I'll live. And so I was like, okay, Lord. Yeah, I will speak. So really the ironic part about it is my husband and I separated, and my youngest son went off to college within 3 months of each other.
Mm.
So I was on the verge of being divorced and an empty nester at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
So that was very, 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 very difficult for me. So that's how I got to that juncture in my life.
Okay. So you had a double whammy.
A double whammy.
And as you were speaking, I was thinking about, man, because so much of our lives, and I think that's why we always connect. So much of our lives are so connected in so many ways. And I found myself several years after your experience, never thinking I would have to deal with that. Because when you get married, you're always looking hopeful. You're always believing for the best. But then sometimes you have to face the reality that
Right.
no matter how much you try, it's not going. They're good people, but that doesn't mean we're good for marriage. And
Right.
so in that decision, I found myself, hey, Lachelle, thank you for joining. I found myself in that same situation, and I had just experienced the emptiness because right before that, I think maybe a year and a half before that, my daughter had she left the house to go and now live her life, and when my son had gone, maybe at that time 4 or 5 years earlier, I experienced it, but it wasn't as hard because I still had somebody home to take care of.
Yeah.
And that child to take care of and look after. And then, but she left. I did take it hard as an empty nester. It did hit me kind of hard. I didn't expect it. because I had talked about it all my life, like all their teenage life. Oh, I can't wait. Well, guess what? It hit a little bit differently when that
Yeah.
last one leaves.
Yeah.
Then I dealt with that, and unfortunately, divorce, separation, and having to make a serious decision for my mother because of her health, and so all these things were hitting, and they were all overwhelming all at once. And you do feel like your world is collapsing around you because everything that had been your life is now is going in different directions, and there's nothing you can do to hold it together. You're no longer that glue, because as mothers sometimes we're the glue in the family. As women, we're the glue in the family. Well, guess what? That glue is falling apart. It's no longer sticking anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So
I was just the opposite of you all, because when I experienced, divorce, all my children were school age, and I mean elementary school age, and so I experienced, I had to be mom, dad, everything to them, and grow them up through the years as a single parent, and so so when as they grew and went out, my empty nest is like I didn't think I was going to ever experience empty nesting, because they would go and come back, go and come back. And so then when I did finally experience empty nesting, it was like as being an empty nester, it was like, how do I feel about this? How do I feel about, all of them being gone, because I was so used to them going and coming back and going and coming back. And then when they finally all had their own lives and their own families and they were no longer coming back, I had to truly look at the fact that I was an empty nester. And it's like, And by that time I got remarried, and I truly didn't have anyone but myself and my husband. And I was like, but then I realized I might like it.
Girl, let me tell you.
I might like this.
Yeah, it might be.
Let me sip my coffee. I might like this.
Baby, let me tell you. Yes,
Wait,
ma'am.
I get a husband. I might like it too.
I might like this. I was like, I might like this.
See, that's what we try to tell y'all. It's life after this. There is life after being an empty nester.
Yes.
It's life after divorce. And many times you do, because I was thinking about, even though we made the decision to divorce, there was still a grieving that I didn't realize would be a part of this, because after 12 years of marriage, now I have to untangle so much of myself that was tangled and entwined together. Because unless you are married to someone and every part of your life is separate, then I don't know if you have a real marriage, but your visions, your goals, a lot of your goals, you're looking at what are we going to build together. Our retirement, how would that retirement be together? You're sitting down with your mate, with your spouse, and you're talking about a lot of things together. Yes, you may have individual goals, but you should be having goals with your spouse. The majority of your life, I would think, I'm envisioning that with my spouse. And then to now be age 50, and now I got to reimagine this next half of my life that I had already for 12 years envisioned with this person. So that takes you for a blow, or it took me for a blow, where now I'm having to grieve a lot of history. Like this was history we made together. We were doing 12 years of life together, and now and then when you get online, say if you're online, Lord, please don't listen to a lot of this red pill advice and all that stuff, and this new age of relationship advice. Please, Jesus. Every black man ain't out to get you. Every man ain't out to get you. Every woman ain't out for you to take them to a high-end restaurant. Many of us can take ourselves to a high-end restaurant. It's just crazy out here in these streets. If you just listen to all the craziness and the advice. But many times people will just say, just leave them. Oh, when you still got to go through a process, even when you just leave.
Right.
Unless y'all just lived under a rock separate from each other the whole time y'all was together.
Right.
And then if you have a marriage, not just a relationship, but you have a marriage, that just leave is not as easy because you have a family intact, not just a marriage, but your family. So I do understand when women are not able to just get over it, because many times that's the best advice people can give. Girl, you gotta get over it. You gotta move on. Well, I still gotta think about some stuff that a lot of things were just my goals, my dreams, everything that we done talked about, walked out. Now I gotta remap all this stuff. I gotta re-envision all this stuff. So what do we say to that woman? That, not just that woman, to that man, because men have the same thing. There's some men, they're not just want to throw away their entire marriage or family. They're struggling with divorce as well. But many times we just have the female face as the one that's struggling. But that divorcee, what will we tell them?
I was going to say something real quick, Sanjay, before you get started. And one of the things that people don't understand and realize, I just want to piggyback on what Angela was saying, is that just because the marriage isn't working and a relationship isn't working, people don't realize just because we divorce doesn't mean I don't love that person. And so I'm still struggling in the fact that it's not that I don't love that person. It just means that the relationship is not working. So I still need to work out some stuff within myself, because I love that person. I wasn't with them all that time and not loving them. I still love them. So I still need to work out some stuff within myself.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Sanjay, for cutting you off.
No. Go ahead. To answer your question, I call it how to unpack your bags. How to unpack your bags. And so just think about this. When you go on vacation and you come home, you may have, well, if you're like me, you might have 3 suitcases, but just for
2 days too.
Just for 2 days,
yeah. So let's just say you have 2 bags.
Angela, Sonjanita.
Me too, child.
So say you have these 2 or 3 bags. When you come home, you unpack them. You unpack the pants, and if you have, like, if you're like me, I always take more than I need.
Every time.
So you're gonna take the dirty and soiled clothes, and you know where to put those in the basket to be washed. But then you have things in there, such as some shirts you did not wear, some underwear or bras you did not wear, pants you did not wear, your makeup, you take that out, your curling iron if you have one of those. I carry a speaker, because if I'm in a hotel room, sometimes I like to listen to music. So you have different things that you unpack. And when you unpack those things, when you unpack them, you put them in their rightful place. It's the same when you are going through a divorce or empty nesting. Let's talk about divorce. When you come home and there is no one, and I lived this, where in May, my marriage fell apart. In August, my son left for college. So in May, I had to try to unpack the marriage. We have different categories where did this go wrong? What was right? Do I need to try to make it better? Do I need to go back? Don't I need to go back? You have to unpack your thought process. You're unpacking your bags. And then on top of that, 3 months later, while I'm still trying to unpack and get my son ready to go off to college, and ladies, he did not go to college in Louisiana. He went to college all the way in Missouri.
Yeah.
So it's not like he went up the street to Grambling, or he went up the street to Tulane, or he went up the street where I could just drive and go check on my baby. He was all the way in Missouri.
Yeah.
So on top of, while I'm still trying to unpack the divorce baggage, now I got to try to unpack the empty nester baggage on top. So now I'm like, I'm flying my son out to Missouri, rent a car, go shopping for his dorm. And on the way back on that plane, I cried all the way home because I'm thinking about when I open that door, there will be nobody there.
Wow.
And when I got home, my house felt like it was doing this from all sides, just closing in. Because I got here and I stood and I just looked around and I just cried. So you have your baggage you have to unpack in every situation. Divorce, empty nester, we got life interruptions and career changes, because sometimes those career changes are not voluntary.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
With me, I didn't have a career change, but I changed jobs during that time. So my transition in that area was a little different than if you got fired or if they downsized but my life interruptions during that time, my mother got ill. So I had to deal with that. And my mother lives 4 hours away from me. So when you're going through these, when life is lifing, it's hard. But there is life after lifing.
Yes, that part.
There is life after lifing. With the divorce, you have to understand that you need to stand still. And if you need to cry, and if you need to scream, or if you need to go outside and run around your house,
and
you just need to lay in your bed and just kick like you two, whatever you need to do, release.
Yes.
Release.
Yes.
Unpack it. You
healthy.
gotta unpack it.
Healthy. It's healthy.
Unpack it. Now, we're not going to say you stay there.
Right.
But you unpack it. If that's your means that you need to unpack, I unpacked by crying. I heard a gentleman say, tears are just memories that roll down our face. So if your tears, your memories come into your head and they make you cry. Unpack. But at some point, once you start unpacking, and your unpacking process may take longer than the next lady's unpacking process. Ladies, do not let these people talk about, y'all been separated, y'all been divorced for 2 years. You ain't over there. You tell her, you look her square in her face and say, no, I'm not. And
thank you.
Yes.
Because your process is maybe different than the next woman's process. Do not let people put a time limit on your healing.
That's right. That's right.
Now, if you see you gotten to a place, I did this. I got to a place to where I was running around like a dog chasing its tail. What do I mean by that? I mean that I was just going in circles in my life. I was going in these vicious little circles and cycles where one day I'm good, the next day I'm not. One day I'm like, I'm so glad that gone. And then the next day I'm crying like, why he not here? You know, it was just, I was running around like a little dog with my chasing my tail. And when you get to that point, to where you see you can't move forward on your own, or you're not processing through in a healthy way, then you may want to consider a counselor, a coach, therapist. And I tell the ladies with dual support, it's okay to have God and a therapist at the same time. One does not negate the other, lady. And I've had one lady to say, well, if I go to a therapist, they're going to think I'm crazy. Well, first of all, a therapist is bound by ethical codes. And here go the paralegal poet. Therapists are bound by ethical codes that they cannot discuss you or any parts of your treatment with anyone.
That's right.
So who gonna know?
2, if you don't tell anybody you in therapy,
who gonna know?
Who gonna know?
So who gonna think you crazy? But I'm like this. I feel like if you are smart enough, or if you are conscious, if you have the emotional intelligence to understand that something is not right, I need to see someone. You're the smartest woman in the world.
Absolutely.
Come on.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I applaud anyone who has seek therapy or coaching. I had to seek therapy during that time. And I am I'm also, like Angela was saying, I'm the CEO of Dual Support, but I am also a Master Life Coach. So, but as a Master Life Coach, I still do therapy myself.
Mm-hmm.
There is nothing wrong with it. If you
Nothing
see that
wrong.
you it's something that you're just stagnated or something that's just not right, and if I can be hot, what we call hot on Dual Support, honest, open, and
Yes,
transparent. When I
absolutely.
knew that I needed therapy was when I was sitting contemplating if I could kill that brother and get away with it, literally. And that was not my spirit. That was not who I am or was.
Yeah.
And I saw that this is not right, girl. You need to do something. This ain't right. You're going over the edge. And that's when I seek counseling. Now it may not be that that dramatic for some, but there are indications when
That
you know
that the enemy
something
was
is
sitting on
just
your
not
shoulder.
right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah. That
So
enemy
yeah,
was sitting on your
there is
shoulder.
life after divorce. There is
Yes,
life after empty nestering. There is life
yes.
after career changes. There is life after life interruptions. You just have to get with Angela Wheatley, Angela Hendricks, and discuss what's going on with you, what in your next move should be or may be,
Mm-hmm.
and understand that you will make it through this. I'm a living, walking testimony because 8 years ago, if anyone would have told me that I would be sitting on a platform talking about my experiences and my trauma I would have told them they were crazy.
Hmm.
But God,
But God.
but God.
Yes,
So, and it's a beauty. Now, can I address Angela Wheatley? This
yes,
empty nestering thing.
yes. Go right ahead.
Any lady, come in close. Let me talk to you. Any lady who is an empty nester or is about to become an empty nester, baby, you gonna be all right. It's a beautiful thing.
Come on.
You just gotta get through it. Cause once I got through mine, woo, baby, it's a beautiful thing. You just have to pray. You gotta unpack the mental, what we call it, unpacking the bags. You gotta unpack
Unpack the
the
bag.
mental baggage of I don't have my baby not here to cook for. My baby not here. I don't wash his clothes or her clothes. Good. Go out to eat.
That's it.
Take a trip.
Take a trip.
You'll have some clothes to wash when you get
You'll
back.
have some clothes to wash next weekend. It's gonna be all right.
It's gonna
But
be
I
all
understand it because I had three, and my oldest is a girl, and then I have two boys under her, and I experienced empty nester syndrome when each one of them left because each one of them held a different position in my life.
Yes.
yes, that part. Yes.
My daughter was my only girl, and she left. My oldest son was my oldest son,
Yeah.
and he left. Then my baby was my
Baby.
baby boy, and he left. So I experienced empty nester syndrome
Yes.
3 different times, and because they each held a different position in my life and in my heart.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
The last one I believe was a little harder because on top of that baggage was my separation and divorce. So, ladies, understand that the emptiness syndrome, it's a real thing. People are like, that's not real. It is a real
It's a real
thing,
thing.
but it's a real thing that you're going to get over.
Get,
Now, I don't know the timing. I'm not telling you just get over it, but it's going to be all right.
all right.
Amen. Amen. LaSheila said, Jordan said she unpacked hers before they left. So she unpacked her bags before the empty nesters, before she experienced that. And for me, like I said, it came as a shock because I just remember, especially by the time Kira was in high school. I want to say like her maybe her second year or so in high school, but midway through I just remember always saying, I can't wait till I'm an empty nester. I can't wait till I'm an empty nester. Especially by the time she made it to the senior year, because that's when they rob you blind in senior year. You get prom, everything. Because all you can think of, this is the last time you're gonna do this. This is the last time. So you're not gonna let them miss anything.
Right.
And it just robbing me blind. Some of the stuff I think they Kira probably made up was the last. Ma, we need this. I don't know, but I ain't want her to miss it. But I just remember just always saying that how I was gonna be just doing all these awesome things as an empty nester. Well, when she got, and I was so happy. I drove her here to Houston because she moved in with her brother at the time. He had already been here for I don't know how many years, and so she was moving here, and I felt good about her at least starting her new life with around her brother. And so I was like, okay, at least she got that protection, and she's not completely on her own. So that gave me some ease. And the next thing you know, I drove back home. I enjoyed that entire weekend. Like, okay, I'm an empty nester. Then after that, it just went down. Like all these feelings and I'm like, what is this? Like all of a sudden, I don't know what to do. I'm not going anywhere. Like, because a lot of the things that I did was either with her, and at the time my niece too. My niece was really close. They all went separate ways. So everything I did was with my daughter, my niece, and or with them or for them.
Mm-hmm.
And I no longer have that anymore. They don't need me to do anything for them anymore. They're not here for us to do anything together anymore. So now I'm like, what, what's that independent, like Beyonce independent, like independent. Where was my independence then? It just went off. Yeah, I'm an independent woman. Where was it now? I don't want to go to the restaurant by myself. I don't want to do nothing. Because I didn't realize, okay, you wasn't on an island by yourself. You'll find those things out really, really quickly, how empty nesting can really hit you before, when your whole life was around your children or your family, and now that family is grown up. That family is going in a different direction. So, hey, Kathy Mac, Kathy Mac, good to see you.
May I say this? May I say something?
Yes.
So, my ex-husband and I, going into my son's senior year, we had made all these plans of everything we were going to do, some of the things we were going to do once we got him in college.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When we come back, we all grown on here. When we come back from dropping him off at college, we just go take all our clothes off and get butt naked at the door, and we just go do stuff all over the house. We grown. We're married, so we can say that and do that. We're gonna go here. We're gonna travel there.
Mm-hmm.
This, and these are all the plans that we made once he graduated from high school and we got him off to college. And you have to understand, for me, coming back here to that house, because he was supposed to go with me to take my son to college. I ended up having to go by myself and do it, fly him out there, because we were going to drive and enjoy the scenery and drive. And we had gone up to the school for a school visit. So we said we'll just drive up there and take him to college and go shopping once we get up there, because we don't want to take all that stuff and, so far away. I'm in Louisiana. We were going to drive to Missouri. It didn't work like that. So I had to get 2 airplane tickets. My son and I flew to Missouri, like I said, rented a car, went shopping. Now, you got to understand that during this whole process, I'm remembering all of this.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
I'm remembering all of this.
All the plans.
Mm-hmm.
I'm remembering all of this. So when I had to buy those airline tickets, I'm mad. This is not, I'm typing in on the Southwest. This is not what I was supposed to be doing.
I know, right? That's true. It's like, and I'm not laughing at that situation, but now, because we discover life after this, we can laugh at some of the things that we experience.
Right.
But if you're going through this at the moment, I understand it is not a laughing matter.
Now it's a laughing matter.
Yeah.
But then I was serious. I was crying and buying airline tickets. I'm like, I'm not supposed to be buying no airline tickets. He's supposed to be, and we won't be packing the car. We're supposed to be getting ready to go.
Yes, yes.
So then got the airline tickets. We went to the airport. Me and my son flew in. Got the rental car. Why I'm getting a rental car? I'm supposed to have my own car here. He's supposed to drive. When I tell you every phase of that trip, the memories were there. And that's a real thing.
Yeah.
Ladies, the memories, the plans, they are real things. Do not let anyone tell you, and I'm saying all that to say this. I hadn't unpacked. I still, because we broke up in May, it is now August. We're just talking 3 months. I'm still mad.
Yes.
I'm still fighting mad. I'm still bitter.
Hurt.
I'm still hurt.
Yes.
I'm still all of that. But then I got to do all this by myself. I wasn't supposed to be doing this by myself, but because you want to do I got to do all this.
Real feelings. Real
feelings. Your feelings, ladies, matter.
And one of the things that people tend to say, I think someone said it much earlier in the conversation, that people are so quick to say, to get over it. And that's one thing that's so annoying. It's so annoying to me that people expect for, any situation, but people have gotten assaulted or people, when they lose somebody, even, you still mourning over that. You still dealing with, get over. You should have gotten over that by now. No, you don't get over things. You may work through them, but the memory is still there. If I have an injury, I'll still have the scar from my injury. And so when I see the injury, it may not hurt me as it did when I did it the first time, but I'm still going to have the memory of when I hurt of the incident. And so I may have worked through it, but I'm still going to know that I had that injury. But again, the pain may not be as bad, but so I may work through it, but it's not about getting over it. And so I always want to make people, encourage people to say, it's not a matter of getting over it. You may work through it. You may, and it may take time to work through it.
Yeah,
but we're not saying that you're going to get over it. But we are saying that you can work through it, and the pain may not be as bad. And you, as you work through it, maybe you have to work through it with someone, that you will be able to face a life, and because there is life after this, whatever this or that is.
Yeah. Your trauma is real.
Exactly.
Don't let anyone invalidate your feelings, your trauma, your process.
Yes.
I mean, ladies, y'all talking today. Let me
do not, because first of all, if you haven't gone through anything remote like I've gone through, you can't tell me nothing.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say you can't pray for me, but when you come to me, I understand how you feel, but you've been married to the same man for 30 years. You don't understand how I feel.
You don't.
Now you can say, I can only imagine how you feel, and you can pray for me. But you can't say if you haven't gone through. Prime example. I had someone to tell me this, and I heard this years before I got divorced, and I understand it now. And they say your misery is your ministry. Because until you go through it and get through it and heal through it and process through it, for me, it took me to start coming back and getting my therapy and processing through all of the stuff. It took about 3 years for me to sort of start seeing me again.
Yeah.
I was so hurt and I was so bitter, ladies, that I didn't even recognize myself. And that's just real talk. And I can talk and tell you this today because I'm healed and I'm whole.
Yeah.
So I can lay it out and be honest and open and transparent with you that I was so mad, I was so bitter, I was fighting and kicking and cussing and screaming and knew who Jesus was, but my emotions, and I'm not
Yeah.
going to say the way I handled things were always right, but we are emotional beings and we are emotional creatures. And I had a couple of ladies that saw me spiraling out of control, and they would speak life. Because
Amen.
my thing was,
That's
why
important.
wasn't I good enough? Why did he have to do this? And I had one to say, you are good. She spoke life back into, be careful who
Yeah.
you let speak into
Yes.
your
To your
life.
life.
And you have to have those people like that in your life.
You have to. You have to. But you
Not
have
people
to
that's going to
know
be
that person's
there,
heart
right?
towards you, because people say, girl, I'm so sorry that happened to you. And then as soon as you're out of their midst, I'm so glad they divorced because I couldn't stand her. She thought you have to understand your team and your tribe. You have to know people's
Yes.
hearts towards you. So
Mm-hmm.
you cannot let everybody know, first of all,
That's
all
right.
your business.
That's right.
Mhm. Come on.
And then you can't let everybody speak into your life.
That's it. That's it.
So you have to understand and ask the Lord for discernment through all things, but especially when you're hurting, because some people take for you to be hurting. I found that was some people's entertainment.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That.
They were just
That.
entertained that, oh, I'm hurting, I'm crying again, but God.
But God. But God. I
He's
want to read right here. I want to let you know Kathy Mackey is preaching right along with you,
she
sis.
sure is. Ha ha, she is.
She one of the things she said is one of the earlier statements she made that I wanted to piggyback off of when we were talking about the empty nester. She shared how she experienced it as well, but she also gave an earlier statement in saying that extended family. She has like most of you women here, you all have grandchildren. You have you have son-in-laws, son-in-laws, and daughter-in-laws. I don't like to say law, but
Yeah.
son-in-laws and daughter-in-laws. So you have that extended family that has made empty nesting a beautiful thing. It took a moment to deal with, but she also shared that extended family has been a joy. So
Yeah.
for some people, they have that extended family. For myself, on the other end, I am going to utilize the gifting of AI, and I'm going to make some grandparent videos because apparently my children are going to wait till I'm like 99 years old. So I'm going to make some futuristic AI grandparenting videos because I'm going to be 99 and I'm not going to be able to do all this. I'm not going to be able to do all those great things. So, yes,
You can
I
share
want to.
mine. You can share mine. I have 6. You can
And
share
I
mine.
have some too. I got one that'll be here, so you can share mine too,
I
Angela.
have
So
6.
that
You can
goes
share
back to Mac.
mine.
I have
That,
5. I'm about to
okay,
have
well that
5.
goes back to Mackie's statement, the extended family. I'm gonna have to take some of y'all grandkids because mine they moving like turtles. I'm like, I'm gonna need to be introduced to some serious people right now. I'm not being introduced to anybody. I'm like, we're not even made it to the first step. Like, I need some introduction. Hey, mom, this is so and so because they already know my rule. Don't introduce me to people until it's a
Angela Hendricks, we're
person.
gonna have to do prayer. We're gonna have to go into deep prayer for our sister
So I
here.
need.
Because I hear a little bitterness and pettiness here.
A
It is.
little. A little.
It is. They know me, but this was just so important to me, this topic, because I know I just remembered when I moved here in 2019. All I heard God, the three things I heard God say to me was, he was one, he was resetting, restoring, and redeeming my life, and that has been a process. Because when I first heard that, I was like, rah rah rah, like I'm about to be redeemed, I'm about to be restored, I'm about to, like, my life is about to be reset. Like everything that I lost, I'm about to recover all. So here I am, I'm in the house preaching, but I'm like excited about what God said. I still stand on what He said, but little did I know it's gonna be a process. My story is still being redeemed. The reset button is still being pressed.
Yep.
The restoration, it's coming, and I
It's
shall
coming.
recover all. But it was a process because he had to shake a lot of stuff out of me. And just like you, one of the other things that you mentioned, you and Angela mentioned, when we talk about the marriage side, when we talk about life after divorce, that I spent most of my time, and Angela can attest to this. I spent most of my time condemning myself. Like, it wasn't so much as why is the marriage over? Did I want it back? No, I took off running. But once I got to this place where I was like, okay, life is about to start over, and I was well, no, it was some stuff. Then I was left alone with me, and all I can do is just. It took a year and a half, like you said. Now I'm about 3 years in, where now I'm at a place of peace.
Yeah.
I'm at a place of no longer condemning myself, because all I can think about is what was so broken in me that made me make this decision. What was so broken in me that caused this that person or that personality in the church world, we say spirit. What caused that spirit to be attached to me, and what caused me to accept that spirit?
Right.
And I couldn't get past that for a long time, because I don't want to make the same mistake. I don't want it to come dressed up in a different face, but I end up in the same situation. And even now, to be honest with you, I don't know if I trust myself. I have just went out. I haven't even gone out on a date because every time I think about going on a date, then all of a sudden I see some on Lifetime that somebody's crazy and they end up meeting a crazy person, so I don't go out.
Not Lifetime.
So, and I don't even watch it that much.
A mess. A mess.
Or it end up on YouTube or somewhere where I see it in the news, and I don't go out on a date.
You stay off of TV and social media.
I keep telling her that.
So I see something on one of them doggone things, and somebody went out on a date, and next thing you know, their life was topsy-turvy, so I get scared. But the other thing is, I just think my picker is broken, so I'm afraid I'm gonna have to do my thing is I'm gonna create a tribe. I'm gonna create a tribe of people, like a board, and this board is gonna consist of Angela's dating board. So that means you all gonna have to make a decision if he is the right person. Because obviously my picker is broken, and I'm afraid to trust it. So that's just I just had to throw that in there. But
Angela Hendricks, did she say Angela's dating board?
I be working on her. I be trying so hard, y'all. Y'all don't even know. I be trying. I do.
Yeah, Angela's dating
people have
board.
business boards. They have business boards, nonprofit boards, and so now I am creating.
I go through this all the time with her. I try hard. I really do. I try hard. But evidently, as you see, it's not working. I do try.
This is my life.
Let me tell you something, Angela Wheatley, that you have. Let me tell you something, Angela Wheatley, that you have that no board has for you. The spirit of discernment.
I don't know. I mean, I know I got it.
You got it. You got it. Let me tell you, because I've had to use mine, and we've talked about this before. You know when it's not right. We've grown, and so your picker is not off, Angela.
I know the clear one, but how did I end up in I don't know. How did I end up in a whole marriage? I don't know.
Well, I did too, but I'm not gonna say my picker. I rebuke that in the name of Jesus. My picker is not broken. And I rebuke that for you.
I receive it. But I'm gonna still have a secret board.
Oh Lord, she's still Angela Hendricks.
I'm not. Okay.
Angela Hendricks, baby.
I know. I don't know. I'm working on her. I work on her all the time.
Okay, y'all, I'm working on my life after this. I'm in the process. I'm working on my life after this. But we got to be able to laugh at ourselves, and that's why I love y'all so much, because y'all know me. Know me. I sit in this little room in this house. I be thinking of some stuff, and so now
does.
But I just want people to be able to enjoy their life after this, whether it is starting that new career, because like you mentioned before, some people are experiencing some people are experiencing job change, and it's not one that they chose. Like I know some people, they've experienced a job change because they have decided to go into to start a business, but they made that choice. And then there are some where their jobs are just switching up, and they no longer have the soft skills or the skill set to keep up with this new industry or career, and so they're kind of like just forced out, and they're left with this sudden life interruption. And even in that, this show today, as we get ready to wrap up, is about you knowing that there is life after this. That even though it is rough, even though it's hard initially, it hits you. It's like a gut punch initially. It is a gut punch, but having the right people around you, like Sonjanita said, having the right people around you, you don't need everybody in your amen corner. Just
That's
like
right.
now, me saying what I said, Angela and Sonjanita did not let me. They was not amening with me. They was like, no, your picker ain't broken. See, I need people who gonna be like, Angela, I don't care what you're saying. you gonna get this together. But that's seriously though. But then we need people, because if everybody in your corner is saying yes to you, then those are not the right people right now to help you get out of or to come from wherever you might be stuck at.
Right.
You're
Right.
gonna need some people that's ready to bring you where they are. You're gonna need some, because if all of us is on that same linear plane, then nobody is carrying anyone up. Either you got to carry me up or carry me down. And so we got to make sure that the person that when you're, whether it's about a job, empty nesting, divorce, whatever that thing where you feel like you're stuck, you got to make sure you have the right people. You got to
Right.
have the right tribe.
That's
So
right.
that they can be able to bring you up and be able to bring you out of that situation. Because God didn't just deliver us, but he delivered us out of something into something. So that's where we have to have that mindset, that we have to be able to get out of, not just get out of, but somebody's bringing us into walking us through that process. And so that person also have to be mature enough to understand you're in a process, and your process may not be my process.
That's
How
right.
I got through may not be how you got through. Just like I experienced the same thing at the same time someone else was experiencing, and it was hard for them to be okay with the fact that they were being divorced. Well, I understood our marriage dynamics was different. The things that they went through. Now, for me, I was like, all I was thinking about was the future. It was hard for this person who was going through at the same time with me to even think about the future. All she could think about was the past. Like, but I had to be able to be okay with that and be there for her and not say, girl, you gotta get over that. It's the future. We gotta look ahead. We gotta blah blah blah. No, even if you have experienced it, sometimes your experience is not, I can't say, girl, I know exactly how you feel. No, because the dynamics may be different and how I see things may be different.
That's
So
right.
that's why we have to be ready to have an active listening ear, an empathetic ear, even if you've gone through it. Your story is not my story. Your ending may not be my ending.
That's
Your
right.
middle may not be my middle. So can I listen to you? Can I be there for you? Even though, and I'll let people, when I share, this is my story. You'll hear me say, for me,
Right.
for me, it is my story. If you can glean something from that, amen. But I'm not sharing to say this is going to be your outcome.
That's right.
And so that's how important, why it's so important to have life after this. That's why we have these topics. That's why God, and to be open, like Sanjanita said, to be hot, honest, open, and transparent. Like the things that I share, I'm so far removed from it that there's nothing that, because some people like, and I've had this question before of me being open and transparent. Trust me, if these are the things that you think you can use against me, girl, if I told you. So
Yeah.
you ain't tipped the iceberg. But the things
Right.
that God has delivered me from is to go back and to help somebody else.
Right.
And these are things that I thank God for the people that he's placed around me, that we're not holding issues to the vest, but we are ready to let others know, hey, God brought me through this. How can I help? And if my story can help, then here it is.
Yes.
And so before I close out, Sanjanita, please share an encouraging word with the audience, as well as how can they reach out to you, because she has a specialty. And I'll let people know, if you reach out to me and it's not my forte, then I'm going to connect you with like-minded people who have a heart to take care of people, and Sonjanita is one of those people. And so let them know what your area is, of what your coaching is, and how they can reach you, as well as an encouraging word. And same with you, Angela, after Sanjanita.
Um, okay. I want to say this. I was writing notes because there were some things in my closing I wanted to say. Ladies, we're going to learn how to unpack. You've heard me talk about during this whole hour unpacking. We're going to learn, we have to learn how to unpack our emotional baggage. And that's through the emotional baggage of divorce, the emotional baggage of the empty nester, the emotional baggage of the life interruptions, the emotional baggage of career changes, and that's even the emotional baggage of death, a physical death of a loved one or someone. We just have this baggage. And I'm not saying, just like I was saying, when you come from a trip, you unpack and you put everything in its perspective and rightful place. We have to understand how we have to unpack our emotional baggage and put all of it in its perspective and in rightful place. And that's not an easy thing to do, but it's doable.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing about healing is easy. Sometimes people make it seem like, oh, healing is a process
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
nothing is easy. But once you heal, it's a beautiful thing. And then you can start moving forward. Because if you are bound by hurt and bitterness and madness and sorrow and grief and all of that, it's hard to be a positive impact.
Yeah.
And when I say that, you may have children that as you're going through stuff and you are grieving and hurting bitter, I don't care how young your children are, how old they are, they see it. They know something
Mm-hmm.
different about mama.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And you may take that emotional baggage out on them. So if we learn how to unpack and deal with our emotional baggage, we will not only be better for ourselves, but for better for everybody around us.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I want to say in my closing. Our dual support, you can reach me at 504-517-5492. And my email, we're getting a new website, but our website right now, it's a long website name, and I will put it in the chat for ladies, because it's got a lot of letters, so the ladies to see. And I just want to say thank you again, Angela, for inviting me to come and speak and share my experiences and the different things that God has brought me through.
Absolutely. Truly my pleasure. Angela and I always love when you show up. Angela, if you will, definitely let people know how they can reach out to you if they needed to talk with you as well, and an encouraging word.
Well, this has been definitely a pleasure today. The panel, the topic, Sanjanita, it was it's always wonderful to, chat with you. The topic today, definitely hit home because, I definitely have, been a divorcee. I've been an empty nester. I've had, life interruptions. So everything that we discussed today, as you said, Sandra, I was like, oh, hey, I got all those. Check, 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 check. So my encouragement to, to the ladies, those who are now and those who will hear later, is that, there is life after this. When I got divorced, I swore that I would never get married again. And I was just lifing and doing life on my own. And then all of a sudden God interrupted my life and said, hey, here's someone. I said, for what? I wasn't even looking to get married. I wasn't even looking to date. I was doing life and I was doing life just fine. I want to tell you. And then there popped someone in my life. What? What? Okay. So there is life after divorce. And sometimes you're not even looking for it. I promise you I wasn't looking for it, Angela. I can tell you, I wasn't looking for nobody. I was just
Mm-mm.
lying by myself. Absolutely fine. But sometimes God just has something else for you. So yeah, so there is life after this. Whatever your this is, be it marriage, be it empty nesting, being whatever it is, there is life after this. And and as I said earlier, don't let anyone tell you how long your process is gonna take, because processes take however long processes take. Now, one thing that Sanjay said earlier, that if you find yourself in a place where you are your mood has been impacted, and that you are, I mean, sometimes you do have that fit. Now you may find yourself having to have a good old cry, but if you find
Mm-hmm.
yourself crying every day for days on end, get staying in the bed for days on end, appetite being affected, you're not eating, you know, definitely if you start having some unhealthy thoughts about harming yourself, things like that, you seek help. You need to go talk to somebody. You need to go to the emergency room. You need to call the suicide hotline.
Yeah.
Dial 988 on your cell phone, and someone will pick up the phone. And they will talk to you.
Yeah.
So if you start having unhealthy thoughts, then please do that. I will never, ever, ever leave one of these panels without giving out some information. Um, so if you don't, or the other number is 1-800-272-suicide. Please, if you start having unhealthy thoughts, as you know, but if you just, even if before you get to that point, you could always look seek out a therapist. If you are spiritual, Christian, whatever you want to call it, it's still okay to have a therapist as well.
Right.
Therapist, but I love God, but I'm a therapist. So
Right.
God put me in this earth for a reason. So
Yeah.
that's my point for the day. I believe I believe that's important. So you know it's good to know that that you can get through this, whatever this is. There's life after this, whatever your this is. We all have a this. So I encourage you can get through this.
Amen. Amen. Well, that is.
Um, can
Go
I
ahead.
say one more thing? I'm sorry, I had problems putting out information in the chat.
Okay.
So if I can say it, even though it's a lot of letters, I will give them our website if that's okay. You can go to
Yeah.
LAPAREGALEGALS.com / dual hyphen support SUPPORT. So that's LAPAREGALS LLC.com / hyphen SUPPORT. And our email address is dualcorp 2020 @ gmail.com. That's dualcorp 2020 @ gmail.com. And again, our phone number is 504-517-5492.
All right, and I will get that from you, because once I purpose the video, I'll make sure I add the links to that as
Okay,
well. So just send that over to me, and
will
I'll
do.
make sure that way they can be able to tap the link.
Okay.
But I also want to just share a couple things before we close out. Again, Kathy Mackey, she said also, ladies, great topic. Again, life after this. She also shared another resource. Better Help Therapist is another resource, because it's so important that we all understand that we don't have to suffer alone.
That's right.
If you guys decide to reach out to um, Coffee and Conversation, then we are here. You'll be able to DM me, reach out to me. We'll do a discovery call, And if we are not a good fit, or not so much as a good fit, but if we don't have the resources to be able to help you, or this is not our field in which we help, then I do collaborate with other coaches, and we also have licensed therapists. And I'm looking to connect with a few more licensed therapists. Angela is a licensed therapist. I'm looking to collaborate with other licensed therapists as well. And then we have these other resources, just like BetterHelp. She gave you the hotline, the suicide hotline. Don't suffer in silence alone. Don't allow, you don't have to suffer in silence alone. Make the choice, reach out. Whatever your this is, there is help. And we've all shared some of our this that we went through. And you see us here on this panel, we're able to laugh through some of those things and laugh about those things. At that time, we were not ready to laugh. We were not ready to joke about this was serious. And you may be in that stage right now where this feels like you cannot breathe. I don't know about you, but I know I've been in that Tony Braxton stage when I'm saying I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I'm ready to just play the song on replay in my Tony Braxton's voice, you know. So you don't have to be where you feel like this. I can't live, because God has life after this. And so as we get ready to close up, again, feel free. That suicide hotline, I'll make sure I put it back in the video when it's reposted. I'll make sure I add that. And Sonjanita's contact. If you want to reach out to her, she has some great resources for those who are going through divorce. We don't coach you through divorce. We don't encourage divorce. But if this is where you are, then she do have resources to help you. That some things that you're going to be experiencing. So we're not this group. We are not that group that's anti-men. We love men. We love men. I just need one. I don't need a whole. I just need to find. I just need that one. But we love men and we honor marriage. So we're not that group. So, but if you're already in that stage and need some resources, then I could definitely connect you with Sonjanita regarding that. But as we get ready to close out, I just want to say we thank you so much for tuning in today to Coffee and Conversation. We are who? Your hope dealer and your purpose pusher. And and I want to say, let not your hope be deferred. We want your purpose to be discovered and fulfilled when you connect with us. So until next time, we out.
It's healing season.
Healing season.
Yes.
All right, everybody. Love y'all.
Bye. Thank you.